Hey everyone, and welcome. So, as developers, we are seeing AI tools just pop up absolutely everywhere. And with them comes this huge question, right? Especially for those of us who live and breathe code. Can we really trust an AI that seems to have, well, a mind of its own? Let's break down exactly how these new AI agents work and see if we can actually keep control. This right here, this is the core of it, isn't it? Our whole world is built on precision. So the idea of an AI just choosing what to do, it feels like a total loss of control. To really get our heads around how we can trust it, we first have to start with the world it's built on, the world we already know and trust, the classic predictable API. I mean, think about the systems you build every day. They're all about clear, predictable rules. And the heart of that predictability? Well, it's the tool we rely on for literally everything, the API. You've probably heard this analogy before, but it just works so well. An API is like a super precise, very literal waiter. You ask for the weather in New York, you get exactly that. It's one specific request that gets one predictable response. And the key is, you get the raw data, and your application, your code, is in complete control of all the logic that happens next. Okay, this slide perfectly frames the huge shift we're talking about. Over on the left, that's our comfort zone, right? Writing every single if-else statement, meticulously chaining every API call together. On the right, that's the new world. We just state our intent, and the AI, it handles the orchestration. And that one word, orchestration, that's where all the anxiety comes from. So why are we even making this shift? It's not just about convenience. It's because the tools we're using now, these incredible large language models, or LLMs, they have a really fundamental limitation. An LLM is amazing. It can process language, generate text, write code, strategize, but it's ultimately stuck in a digital box. It's like a brain in a jar. It can write the absolute perfect email to a client, but it has no hands. It can't actually hit the send button. To take any action in the real world, it needs to connect to real-world tools. And that's the million-dollar question, right? How do we do that? If every tool speaks a different language, connecting an AI to them becomes this chaotic mess of custom code and adapters. It's just not scalable. What we need is a standard. And this is exactly where a new standard called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, comes into play. It's really important to think of it not as some new fancy tool, but as the universal adapter that lets all of our existing tools plug into an AI nice and easy. So, to put it simply, MCP is basically an open source agreement. It's a set of rules for how an AI application should talk to an external tool, whether that tool is your calendar, a database, or some custom internal service you've built. I love this analogy because it just clicks. It's perfect. Before USB-C, we had what, like a dozen different cables for everything? It was a mess. Now, one standard just connects it all. MCCP aims to do the exact same thing for AI tools. You build your tool to the MCCP standard once, and boom, any compatible AI can use it instantly. Which, of course, brings us right back to our central problem, the trust paradox. If the AI can just plug into any tool at once and decide which one to use, what happens to our control? This is the fear, isn't it? We've gone from our precise world of if this, then that, to a world where an AI looks at a request and just picks a tool. It feels like we're just handing over the keys to the entire system. But the answer here might actually surprise you. And here it is, the single most crucial point to understand. The AI doesn't have infinite power. It only has access to the specific tools that you give it. Why? Because you are the one who builds the toolbox. Okay, this slide is the key to everything. The AI's so-called choice is completely constrained by you. You define the exact functions it can call, like get weather. You write the description for that tool, and this is critical. That description is the only thing the AI reads to decide if your tool is the right one for the job. And the tool itself, it's still your code, calling your trusted APIs under the hood. You're not giving it the keys to your entire system. You're just exposing very specific, safe capabilities that you want it to have. You're still in charge. So what this does is it actually changes our role as developers. We're no longer the micromanager, writing every single line of conditional logic. We get to level up. We become the architect, designing the high-level capabilities of the whole system. I mean, this comparison just says it all. Look at the left. That's the code we all know and, well, that we know. A brittle, ever-growing chain of if-else logic that's an absolute nightmare to maintain. Now look at the right. We just define clean, independent functions with really clear descriptions, we provide the capabilities, and we let the AI handle the messy, annoying logic of choosing the right tool for the right job.
So you see, you're not giving up control, you're abstracting it. You're actually building more powerful, more flexible, and way more maintainable systems by letting the AI handle the complex decision tree, but you're doing it within the safe, well-defined sandbox that you built for it.
All right, let's wrap this up by looking at the big picture. Why is this shift so important for all of us? So here are the key things to walk away with. First, MCP doesn't replace your APIs. It just puts an AI-friendly layer on top. Second, it allows for something called dynamic discovery, so you can add new tools without having to redeploy your code, which is huge. And finally, the most important point, let's say it one more time, you are not giving up control. You are simply delegating the tedious job of orchestration. So the real question here isn't about whether you can trust the AI. It's about how you'll architect the toolbox. If you could build a set of safe, reliable tools for an AI assistant to handle your most repetitive, annoying work, what would you empower it to do for you? That's the real power here. Thanks for tuning in.